Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me. I called ART.
Traffic.
Those traffic volumes picking up out there right now. And now we've got a stalled out vehicle, so you'll want to watch for a slowdown here. It is southbound on I-235, and it's right around 47th Street South. Again, that's southbound on I-235, right around 47th Street South. Traffic update from 98.7 and 1330 KNSS. In the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, I'm Jed Chambers.
Weather.
Sunny, breezy, and a bit cooler today, though our high of 67 is well above the normal. It's not quite the 74 we had on Tuesday. Northeast winds 15 to 25 and gusty. Clear and cool tonight, 42 is the low. Sunshine and 70 on Thursday, near 70 on Friday. It will turn much colder this weekend. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH Wichita, KNSS HD2 Clearwater, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Hey, Wichita, it's Jake Alpert. Hey, right there for the latest breaking in sports talk. It's Sports Daily coming up next, exclusively on 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Not that anyone ever needed proof of this because, well, we've been saying it for years, and his garbage on the field product speaks for itself. But Jerry Jones just told Stephen A. Smith the silent part out loud, quote, "The Dallas Cowboys probably have the kind of interest that we have in no small part because we stay out front and we stay controversial. When it gets slow, I stir that bleep up. Fact, I just want to be relevant. I just want you looking at us," end of quote. Right, kook. Now tell us something we didn't already know. It's almost like he took one of my rants, had somebody transcribe it for him so he could regurgitate it. How many years have we been saying you're not about winning, Jarrett Attrick? You're about getting people to look at you. How do I know? 1, you finally admitted as much. And 2, I saw Arizona curb stomp you last night. If you really are in it to win it, my guy, you are really bad at your job. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome as well.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives. On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by: never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Howard.
Well, hey there. Welcome in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you on this Wednesday as we get things rolling into the college basketball season. We've now seen a game from all three of Wichita State, K-State, and KU. The Shockers and the Jayhawks follow KU with impressive opening wins in their respective openers. K-State, Wichita State getting theirs done last night. We'll get into all of that. It was one of the wildest NFL trade deadlines of all time. Massive moves made in several different spots around the league. None of them include the Kansas City Chiefs. We've long talked about potential moves that they might make and didn't see anything there. So we'll dig into all of that. Did the Chiefs make a mistake? And we'll go in through some of the bigger moves and talk about them a little bit as well today. We have Shreyas Laddha joining us, our KU Insider, here on a Wednesday to talk a little KU. We'll get his take on KU hoops and talk a little KU football as well. And then we should have Wichita State Athletic Director Kevin Saul coming up in a few minutes. He can help us go over the festivities and everything that happened in the Shocker opener and get us caught up with what else is happening there at Wichita State. It is all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, featuring Yumkin Pumpkin Ale, WBC's most popular seasonal beer that's made with actual pumpkin. It's served with a spiced rim. Yumkin Pumpkin, now available at Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. It is, of course, a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday to you, everybody out there. To those who celebrate this great holiday that we're trying to create here on Sports Daily. You get festive there with your coworkers, with your family, whether they want it or not. That's how we roll here on Sports Daily. Did you catch the games last night? Shocker fans, KState fans, what'd you think of round one with your respective teams? How do you feel like they did? You can comment on it. You can leave us comments on Facebook, on YouTube, on X. You can also call us the old-fashioned way at 869-1240. That's always available to you here on Sports Daily. You can also leave us voice messages if you happen to be listening on the Odyssey app anytime as the show gets podcasted out. And we appreciate everybody listening to us on 12 News Connected. You get the Shockers winning it 75-58 over UNC Asheville. We don't know a lot about teams this time of year, right? Like that, we're at peace with that, but we can just lean on Vegas a little bit here. And the Shockers were only a 7.5-point favorite in a game that they end up winning by 17. I think that's a good sign. I think they far exceeded their expectations and they dominated in the second half of that game. Kenyon Giles, as we expected, led the way offensively, 20 points on 8-16 shooting. Took 7 threes, only hit 2 of them. The Shockers were only 4 of 16 from 3. So that thing that has been a problem for them, they didn't certainly cure last night, just shooting 25% on a low volume, but they were able to score plenty. If you listen to the broadcast here, or I should say on KUIM, but on the Shocker Radio Network, you know how impressed those guys were with Karan Boyd. You see some of the defensive prowess he brings to the table. He had 11 points and 10 rebounds. It was a game where they were missing Jarrett Valencia, so you had to have some others step up into those big positions. TJ Williams in his first start did a nice job, 6 points, 2 blocks, 2 rebounds. So, look, you feel good about the Shockers. Drake Kendall was the other scoring presence with 11 points, and then it was kind of a balanced attack up and down. They rotated. Their main rotation was 7 guys. Noah Hill added another 12 minutes, but a lot of guys got playing time. I think a lot of us are paying attention to Will Berg early in the season as the big here. Played a long time there at Purdue, but not a lot of minutes. Zach Edey, a big reason for that. But how about 8 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks? Right? We'll take that. We'll take that. It was a good opening performance for Wichita State. So that is an impressive spot for them to do what they need to do. Over on the other side, K-State, that one was a little dicey there in the first half. They actually went into halftime down 1. Now, they were favored, I believe it was 17 points in this game. 17 points they were favored in this one, K-State, and they were down at half. And you're like, ooh, I was at basketball practice for my 5th grade daughter. And one of the other coaches, one of the other dads, K-State fan, and I'm like, what? They're down at half here? Like, I don't know what to tell you. And then all of a sudden, they just explode in the second half. Outscored UNC Greenboro 60-30 in the second half. Message received, and they win it by 29. So you love seeing that. You love seeing that response from K-State. Of course, PJ Haggerty, who there probably won't be very many games where he's not your leading scorer for them. 27 points. And look, he shot 50% from the field. 10 of 20, got to the free throw line, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Those are the things you want to see from PJ Haggerty. Andre Kostic, a guy that Wyatt Thompson has been telling us about for weeks, is a good shooter. Hit a couple of threes. K-State shot 14 of 27 from three. Shot the lights out from three. Nate Johnson was 6 of 7. So, and Abdi Bashir hit a bunch of threes too. That's a good sign, right? This looks like a team that can shoot it. We hope it's a team that can shoot it and supplement what PJ Haggerty does, which, of course, Shocker fans know very well from his Memphis days, is be a high-volume guy that can really put it in from the free throw line. And K-State got everything they wanted to see out of the offense, I think, last night. 93 points in a game is always going to impress. But, holding them to 64 is a good sign. I don't know how good UNC Greensboro is. I don't know how good UNC Asheville is. But we really didn't know how good Wichita State or K-State might be, just like KU the night before. So good season opening performances for all of those teams. Good to see. And it's a nice way to start the college basketball season and head into the first college basketball weekend. Of the men's and women's teams, only KU's women remain who have not played, and they'll play later tonight. Sports Talk here on KFH is presented by Paramount Plus. Watch the new season of Landman on Paramount Plus coming up here pretty soon. That will be a fun thing. And then we want to tell you about the Odyssey Holiday Hookup. So now through Friday, November 21st, we will be taking care that you can enter this. Odyssey taking care of the food and fun this Thanksgiving. Win a full holiday feast and Thunder tickets for the whole family. Smoked ham, turkey, all the sides from Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. That's over $200 in value. Then you'll get 10 tickets to the Wichita Thunder's Star Wars Night, which comes on November 29th. All you have to do to enter this contest, the Odyssey Holiday Hookup, is text the word thanks to the number 20357. That's thanks to the number 20357. Message and data rates apply. So good luck, everybody, with that. We've got some other contests to tell you about today. We'll get you a chance to win some iced tea. It is a festive Wednesday here on Sports Daily. Hence the Hawaiian shirt, hence the Hawaiian tunes there for Max. So we always try to get you through Hump Day with a positive vibe. Good vibes, the island vibe there from Hawaii. We've got lots of fun coming up today. We'll get into this NFL trade deadline and what the Chiefs did not do when we return. It was a busy day, plus a pretty emotional day for Wichita's Breece Hall. We'll explain it all as we continue on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSEW.
Time 1240.
Time to get busy.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Sports Daily here on KFH. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland with you on a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Tune into KFH tonight at 6 for some Chiefs talk coming off that loss at Buffalo. It's the Chiefs Kingdom Show on 97.5 and 1240 KFH. Listen online at kfhradio.com or download the free Odyssey app and search for KFH. Also, probably in that show tonight you will get a little trade deadline talk as the Chiefs on what I got to think was the craziest trade deadline we've ever seen. Do nothing. They stand pat. They don't do it. They had an opportunity. You'd have to imagine, as the Jets had a fire sale, and we've had the discussion a million times, and I have to believe that the discussion was being had internally. Will we give up a third for Breece Hall? It was a roller coaster of a day emotionally for Breece Hall as he watched, and we'll get to these other trades in a minute, but Breece watched some of his best teammates get traded around him. Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams both traded. It looked like they were going into a fire sale. Maybe Garrett Wilson, because he's already got that contract, is the only guy. But Breece is sitting there without a contract next year, and he's tweeting things that I think have since been deleted. An ellipses, a guy waiting around a corner. He's reacting to people's tweets. He's changing his backgrounds and all of these things. And lo and behold, he's still a Jet. Somebody sent something that was funny. He reacted to somebody saying they're willing to give up a third for Kadarius Toney, but we draw the line today. But it's different. Like, these are all different. We've talked about it. It wasn't just the third when you talk about Breece Hall for the Chiefs. It's the fact that it's a third in a contract that made that a big challenge. Are you going to give up a third with the possibility that you only get Breece Hall for the remainder of this season? And if it's the Jets, and I don't fault the Chiefs for it at all. It would have been so much fun, and we were all hoping for it. Didn't happen. And I was hoping for Breece Hall to get traded anywhere, quite frankly, but he'll have to finish the year with the Jets. It wasn't. It's the money side of it. It's if you're going to get Breece Hall and you're only going to potentially get him for the remainder of this season, when we don't know the full health status of Isaiah Pacheco, like, long-term, big picture, how much better could he make a Chiefs offense? Tons, right? This year, if Pacheco plays and the way that they've designed it, how much of a difference will it be over Pacheco, Hunt, and the fact that they're going to throw the ball as much as they are? Is that enough to give up a third? So I don't fault the Chiefs for that. I think it was a tough decision, and it tells you that they're probably not planning on spending a ton of money on a running back. But the Jets not trading him at all?
Yeah. That's the biggest
fire sale.
That's the biggest part of that. I don't know if you saw this. Connor Hughes of SNY up in New York reported that the Chiefs offered fourth. And the Jets didn't budge.
Wow.
So, I mean, are you, like, if you, as an outsider, do you like the Chiefs trading a fourth for Breece Hall? Because I think that's a good trade.
Yeah. I would be okay with a fourth. A fourth is different than a third. They've been very good historically. They've drafted a lot of key players in the third. I think if we went and were able to pull up, it's not a metric you could actually track, but the difference in long-term staying power in the league between a third and a fourth are pretty high. The Chiefs have been good in all of those rounds, but a fourth rounder, you're okay with it because Breece Hall is a stud. I mean, he's awesome. So, yeah, I think more than anything, it tells you that it's just not in their plans to spend a bunch of money at the position, which is what would have had to happen, or they would have been perfectly happy giving up a third. When they gave up a third for Kadarius Toney had lots of player control, or they had lots of contract control over him. None of this was oh man, the Chiefs missed an opportunity, which was sort of the narrative as this came out. And it's funny how that happens. Like, all of a sudden, because the opportunity's there, everybody's like, oh, you got to just trade the third. You got to just trade the third. When was the last time we felt like the Chiefs needed to invest that heavily in running back? It sort of happened right at the last minute. And so then everyone, it's dangling right there for you. And you're like, oh man, we got to go make that happen. And they wanted to give a fourth and they didn't budge. And probably look at, will the Jets flinch on this? And I don't blame them for that. The Jets not flinching and not getting anything and when you're doing what they were doing elsewhere on that day is a mistake. Now they're going to get nothing for Breece Hall. So, I mean, maybe they can get a supplemental pick. I'm not sure how that works, but it won't be as good as a fourth. So that was, I think, in my opinion, it was, unless they had a third on the table from somewhere else, that was a mistake. That was a mistake for the Jets. All right. Get more into the trade deadline as we go along here and the other things. We are joined now by Wichita State Athletic Director Kevin Saul on the after Wichita State's impressive 17-point win to open the season against UNC Asheville, followed an impressive Shocker women's win on Monday. Kevin, I hope you're riding hard in that Hawaiian today. A lot to be happy about around the office.
There is a lot to be happy about. We've made some good first steps in both programs. Appreciate you guys having us on the show and look forward to talking about it.
So let's go to last night. Shockers, it was, tight in the first half, a huge second half. Did you see the things you expected to see with the first live ammunition flying in that opener for Wichita State?
Well, yeah, let's talk about the things that we've talked about on your show here the last several months since the guy's been on campus in June. You guys remember we scrimmaged that TBT team and the feedback from the players and Zach was, man, you guys are really solid defensively. So you look at that and you say, okay, we gave up 30 points to Asheville in the first half. Typically teams score more points in the second half than they do in the first on average. We held them to 28 points in the second half, 58 total. Anytime you can hold a team to less than 60 is really good. And I think the important context here, guys, is UNC Asheville's a good program, and they've had a good 3 or 4 years here. They won 21 games last year, 22 the year before, and 27 the year before, and went to the NCAA tournament. So last 3 years, this program's won 70 games. It's not your typical home opener. And so the first half was interesting. We got a little bit bogged down. You could tell there were first half jitters on both sides. Shooting from the perimeter was tough for both teams because I think they're both very guard heavy and defensive oriented. But we go in last possession down 1 in the first half. Karan Boyd hits a huge 3-pointer to put you up 4 at halftime. Pretty much maintained that 4 to 6 point lead throughout the second half, and then went on a 15-2 run to end the game and win by 17. So again, we're really pleased. UNC Asheville's good programs, good start. It's a nice step forward for our program.
Kevin, as we've been talking about this roster, the one thing that we've learned for the past couple of months is that Kenyon Giles is going to be a heck of a player, and it kind of showed last night. Just that feels like just kind of the tip of the iceberg what he did last night as well.
Yeah, he's going to be a focus for teams defensively. There is no doubt because the guy can just flat out score. I remember when we were working our way in April and May in the recruiting process, and Coach Mills and I talked about Kenyon Giles. He just said, man, the kid, he's a really good leader. He's great in the locker room. The kid can absolutely score. And that's kind of been the update in the media, right? With you guys throughout the summer, as the kid can score. And I think you can see that he has a knack for scoring. And so you guys know the deal. As teams focus in on him defensively, that'll open up some other things. You saw some nice elements from Will last night, some good elements from Emmanuel. And I think you saw, guys, at one point in the first half, the foul count was 10-5 against the Shockers. And Coach Mills put in Noah. And I thought Noah did a really, really nice job in some critical minutes. He played almost 13 minutes. He did a nice job. And so you'd hope to be able to develop a 3-man rotation down low. But the things that we've been talking about with this team, guys, defensive strength, being able to shoot it from outside. Again, it was only 4 of 16 last night, 25%. We'll be better than that as we get into the season. Defensively strong. You've got versatile bigs. They're physical, right? They're not going to back down from physical. You saw many loose balls where guys are diving on the floor, and that's going to be the culture of this team. And so I think it was a really good step forward for us, and just would encourage our fans to come on out on Saturday night. We've got Prairie View A&M at 6 o'clock on Saturday night. We've got our cheapest tickets in decades, both on the season ticket side and single games. And nice crowd last night. I thought our students did a really nice job. We had about 600-700 students there last night. We hosted a pregame tailgate for them over at Shocker Hall. So we'll continue to do some nice things, and we need a fast start because we need our community in Charles Koch Arena.
Yeah, it was great, and we can stay on that. We had our live shots before the game, and it was hard to tell. But the one thing from the angle we were at is the student section was full, and they were there early. I think over the course of things, that's probably for an opener on a Tuesday night against that kind of opponent, probably a pretty decent crowd there. But the energy seemed to pick up, and I think that that matters. We talked about that probably more than anything this offseason. Is just how fun it was to get the vibe with the TBT and to fill it up. And it speaks to winning. 17-point win. That's what it takes. I'll be curious to see, Kevin, it's too early now probably, but as they start to pile up some wins, how that translates over to things like ticket sales.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I'd credit to we've got 3 new members, staff members in the ticket office. And as they came in last year, they said, we really need to adjust the student ticketing process and make it easier for our students to get to games. And they spent a lot of time. We've gotten a lot of support from campus to be able to do that. And so they can go on their phones now and they can claim their tickets as opposed to having to go to 6 different locations on campus. It was a little too complex. But at the end of the day, I think we had 500 pre-claim their tickets last night, and maybe another 150 show up the night of. So great student crowd. I thought our community ticket crowd was great, guys. We've got almost 200 of those. We've had 2 donors step up and provide concession food vouchers for all 200 of those tickets for all 17 games. So we've got young people in our community that wouldn't otherwise get into Shocker games and so many nonprofits involved in that. They're getting a good meal and they're getting a good product on the floor. So again, as we press, right, we had a little over 5,000 announced there last night. We got to get to 10.5. Nobody's going to be happy till we get to 10.5. We've got some steps to get there, but we keenly understand we're going to win as a community, and we need our community in Charles Koch Arena.
That's right, Kevin. Let's switch over to the women that we've talked about, throughout the summer as well. As we talked to them at Media Day the other day, they're in the same spot as the men are, basically. I think I see two names on this mock score that I remember seeing last year. I think they had 11 transfers coming in. What's the outlook on them? It seems like Coach Nooner's heading into this year in a different mindset.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because Bree and Mai are the returners from last year, and they've added some unbelievable young women in our program. And I'm excited about this women's basketball team, guys. If I'm describing to your listeners that haven't seen them play yet, the style of play reminds me of the play that Terry Nooner was involved in with the Roy Williams team. It's a frantic defensive pressuring, stealing the ball, trying to speed up your opponent type defense. They can hit the outside shot. They're hitting contested layups. They've got options down low to be able to score down low. Guys, anytime you can score 96 points, I don't care who you're playing, 2 consecutive games, you can tell that it's going to be a good offensive club. And I believe this is a team that will, by the end of the year, will have broken the single game steals record and probably will break the season steals record. So we're trying to wrap our minds around a really good promotion having to do with steals. But it's a really good club. It's a fun product. We've got a game against Northwestern State tomorrow night at 6, and then they go on the road at Western Kentucky, and then they're in Kansas City for a game against Missouri State. So that schedule ramps up. They've got some good clubs on their schedule. They got UC Irvine, Texas Tech, Oral Roberts, Middle Tennessee State. So I'm really excited about where this team has come in 10 or 15 seconds more. Really proud of Terry and the staff because we've had 2 consecutive 10-win seasons. So as they've elevated the roster over these last couple of recruiting periods, Terry also recognized the need to pour into the cultural aspects of the team. What are our core values, pillars of our program? How are we reinforcing accountability? How do we get the assistants involved? How are the players involved in ownership, accountability, and responsibility? Terry and his staff have spent a ton of time on that from basically March through June. And I think you're starting to see that play out from the cultural perspective.
Let's talk real quick about volleyball, Kevin. We are coming down the home stretch there. The American Conference tournament is in a little more than 2 weeks. I'm looking, the Shockers, look, they've got some room to make up ground here. They do get games against some teams they're right there with in the standings. How much, based on what you know about the league, will it matter, seeding and those kinds of things over these final 4 games? 3 of them, by the way, at Charles Koch Arena.
Yeah, the seeding really does matter. So proud of Coach Lamb, the staff, the team. We're 16-8, about a 67% of our winning 2/3 of our games. That's good. We're 8-4 in league. We've got a win against the receiving votes, Arkansas. We've had some really nice wins along the way. I think our best win came on Sunday. Really, last weekend, we did the road Florida swing at Florida Atlantic in South Florida. Beat South Florida on their home floor for the first time this season. South Florida has lost. That's the only match, and they swept them 3-0. So to go to Florida Atlantic, win 3-1, go to South Florida, win 3-0, you got an opportunity, regardless of your seed, to make a deep run in the conference tournament. That's certainly what we expect. So Friday night this week, guys, at 7 o'clock, we got East Carolina. And then Sunday at 1, Charlotte, 2 very, very important games. And then the next Friday is a really big one for us. 6 o'clock, Friday the 14th against Rice, who's at the top of the league. And then we finish at Temple. And these are really important games, right? Because we're sitting at 8-4 in the conference standings. There are 3 teams at 8-4, Florida Atlantic, which we would be above. Tulsa's at 8-4. They'd be above us because they beat us twice. So we got to get a game clear of them. You got North Texas at 9-3, South Florida at 10-2, and Rice at 11-1. So we want to get into that top 4, get a 4 seed so that you've got a favorable draw in the tournament. You got a chance to go out and win that thing, get to the NCAA tournament again.
Kevin, I got a bit of a random one here to wrap us up. Going back to men's basketball, debuting the MTXE jerseys last night. What goes into designing those? I know you've talked to me about the equipment services and what they've done through all this process. What's that been like with Nike getting these in the door?
So it's been really good. The switch back to Nike is, I've been doing this for 27 years, and I think 25 of them I've been with Nike. So they do a really, really nice job, and we're really pleased with the process. It was a fun process to design our jerseys and get those in. We had a really, really nice jersey set our women were wearing, some new grays. But there's about 5 or 6 new jerseys on both the men's and women's side, and you'll see those unveiled throughout the season. Nike's a great partner. They do a great job, and I know that our student athletes really, really enjoy wearing that product, both in the locker room, out of the locker room, on campus, and in the game. So Nike's been great, and we look forward to unveiling some really cool jerseys as we move forward here.
We will look for those. It was big wins for both basketball programs to open the season. Wichita State Athletic Director Kevin Saul here. We appreciate the visit. The Shocker women play again tomorrow at Charles Koch Arena. The men on Saturday. GoShockers.com has all your ticket info. Kevin, we appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for having us on the show, and go Shockers.
There goes Kevin Saul. We will continue our conversations when we get back on the other side of things here on Sports Daily. Glad to be with you. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for 36 holes of golf, TJ. I went out and fired sub 90. First time. I was pretty fired in that wind yesterday. I got that done. I was striking it well. It is a beautiful week to play golf. Even in that wind, it was nice to be out there because the temperatures were good. So they still have lots of golf you can get out there and play at Crestview. Lots of activities for the family this time of year. It is the holiday season, and they have something, I'm not kidding, every single night of the week. So give Crestview Country Club. It's a great spot for the family. Give them a call. Tell them we sent you from Sports Daily. We appreciate their support. We're going to come back. Let's look more at that NFL trade deadline. So we talked to you about a little bit there of what the Chiefs did not do in Breece Hall's day. Boy, it was crazy elsewhere. Who made a difference of the contenders? We'll talk about it next on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. All right, we're giving you a chance to unwrap the ultimate gift of the season. You could win a trip to Seattle to see Unwrapped, an acoustic holiday, bringing an all-star lineup to the stage for a one-of-a-kind night, stripped-down music featuring Brent Smith and Zach Myers of Shinedown, The Pretty Reckless, Daughtry, Hollywood Undead, Mammoth, Sleep Theory, Des Rocks, and Return to Dust. Not your average silent night. Cozy up, rock out, celebrate the holidays the loudest way possible, but acoustically. You're getting hooked up with round-trip airfare for 2 to Seattle, a 2-night hotel stay, a pair of tickets to Unwrapped, courtesy of BMG Records. You can enter the national contest now at kfhradio.com. Programming note, Shreyas Laddha got caught in travel, so he will not be able to join us next hour to talk KU. So we will proceed. Otherwise, the trade deadline, TJ, was absolutely wild. We thought maybe, right? Like maybe it could be. And then all of a sudden we start seeing bursts flying around. We start seeing real contenders making massive moves of significance. We see all kinds of things happening. And here we go. This is what trade deadlines are supposed to be. And I'm so glad the NFL has caught on to Major League Baseball and this has become a thing. I don't know how quickly all these guys can acclimate, but that was wild yesterday.
Yeah, it was wild. And the best thing that I saw is it takes me back to whenever the Ravens were trying to get 2 firsts for Lamar Jackson and people wouldn't do it. And now it's like, oh, people will trade 2 firsts for Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, excuse me. It's crazy, but I agree. I mean, I probably would have made those trades as well. I don't know. They're pretty rich to send first round picks, especially for the Dallas Cowboys. But
we'll dig in. We'll dig into the big ones here. The biggest, most noteworthy for teams that we feel like are contenders were the Sauce Gardner trade to the Colts and Rashid Shaheed to the Seahawks. I think we'll start with Sauce Gardner because the Colts have been very good. They did lose to Pittsburgh. That is a lot for a corner, 2 firsts. Now, the Colts, I saw this yesterday, and I think it was a really good point. The fact that the Colts were willing to trade 2 firsts should tell everybody that they believe in Daniel Jones as the quarterback of their future. You don't make that trade if you think you're going to need to be in the market for a quarterback. So it reinforces the confidence they have in Indiana Jones. And it adds one of the best defensive players in football who's young, who's under contract. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And so is it too much for a shutdown corner? One of the bright young players in the league, 2 firsts, probably with their trajectory 2 mid to late firsts. That's a big haul, man. That is a big haul for the Jets. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. He's a great player. They better hope he is wildly impactful. But yeah, I guess I'm okay with it. And I'm okay with it because they feel like they're there. And they do. And we've talked about it before. Man, they've got a balanced roster. If Jones is the guy, they've got bright young stars all over the offense. They've got a good line. They've got a developing defense, and he'll make their defense better. So, in a lot of ways, yeah, I get it. 2 firsts is a big ask for a player of that caliber. If you're the Jets, you make that trade, no doubt about it, because when you're as bad as they are, a great corner isn't helping you win football games.
So that's the thing is that this happens all the time in basketball. This happens. It doesn't happen in baseball because you can't trade picks in baseball, but it happens all the time in basketball where people throw picks around like hotcakes. This doesn't typically happen in the NFL. Like, is this the right thing for the Jets to do? To unload all this, to basically just say we're starting from ground zero almost.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're not very good. They're worse than we thought they would be this year. Significantly worse than we thought they would be this year.
It's just a matter of that just shows that the Jets have no faith in we're going to keep these guys. We'll build around them next year, which they've done for 4 years. I'll give them the credit.
It's not that the Jets lack the thing that you have to be successful in this league. They don't have a quarterback. And until you do, great players like that aren't going to make the difference. You have to be near flawless in this league to win without a great quarterback. The Vikings come to example. They've been such a good roster with questions at quarterback. They get Sam Darnold, but they've pieced it together. They had Kirk Cousins, who was good with them. They had Sam Darnold, who was good with them. Now they have JJ McCarthy, and we'll see how he does. But there are teams that are talented, and you have to be honest. That's why I think the Jets were smart. They were dumb with Breece Hall because they were just stubborn at that point. You have to be honest with yourself in the NFL. Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner are superstars. But what are the chances that those guys help the Jets win a Super Bowl? I mean, they are minuscule, right? Because they're so far away. They don't have a quarterback. This isn't a great quarterback class coming up. So they may not draft one in this class coming up. You don't see it there for at least the next 2 years. And that's, about when those guys are going to, either run out of a contract or get to the point where they want an extension or all of those things. And so, yeah, if you can collectively pick up 4 firsts for those guys, that's how you rebuild a roster. Because ultimately, you got to have all the pieces around a good quarterback. And as young as those guys are, they're not pieces that are going to help them probably over the next 2 years. Garrett Wilson, you'd like to have him whenever you bring in a quarterback, right? I get that one, but I think you probably listen to the same kinds of offers. You want to give me 2 firsts for Garrett Wilson? Go for it. So they make that decision. I thought that was good. And I thought from their perspective, it was good on the Quinnen Williams trade.
It's such an interesting concept, but you're right. Like the way the NFL works, and every professional sports league works like this, is that you build to try to win the Super Bowl. And it's like the NFL is such a top heavy league where it's like, are we gonna see the Jets win the Super Bowl in the next 30 years? Like you don't know. Like they might not be good for a decade.
Look, the question is always the same. Who's your quarterback? Yeah. Right? The great teams right now, the dynasties, the teams that are consistently good, all have one thing in common. They have great quarterbacks. And unless you have that, you've either got to catch lightning in a bottle or be like the Rams, for instance. The Rams going to get Matt Stafford at the time when they felt like they had such a good roster made sense. And now we've seen Stafford have a little probably length in his career. Maybe they didn't anticipate, and it's been a really good move for them. But, those kinds of things happen. The Lions had been building that roster forever, but Stafford's getting older. I don't know if we're being honest, if they knew Jared Goff was going to be able to be what he's been for them, but they made a move because they felt like, what's our window look like? It was an honest move that they made, and that's what you have to do. And this takes us all to what the Cowboys did yesterday. I've seen, Micah Parsons, they essentially, they got Kenny Clark and Quinnen Williams for Micah Parsons. The picks kind of just swap around a little bit, and people are like, oh, is that really, they're just compounding on a bad Parsons trade, but they're not. They got Quinnen Williams for half the money of Micah Parsons, and he has another year of control. He fits their window. Their window, to me, in my opinion, is next year. That's their window before they have to take the nuclear option. And so that move, to me, made a lot of sense. Both of those moves that we were kind of joking at the Logan Wilson trade yesterday that, oh, this is Jerry's big move. That makes more sense now. They just added players that are going to make their defense better next year. I don't think it's too late this year, but they'll make them better next year. They are building a defense around a pair of defensive tackles that are probably as good as anybody in the league. And they were able to keep their 2 draft picks next year to try to load up around Dak Prescott because that's their only option right now. I think the Cowboys have been, for all the things we like to make fun of Jerry Jones for, it's the most honest they've been in the Micah Parsons trade, the opportunity to get a guy like Quinnen Williams for half the price of Micah Parsons and to try to build the defense that way. The defense has been an abject failure. Matt Eberflus has not been good as a coordinator. The players are not nearly good enough. Maybe they can piece it together and try to sneak into the playoffs this year, but that's a move for next year. And I think it makes sense to do it. It's a move to build. They have money and they have draft picks. They used a little of that to go get a guy who is as good as anybody in this league, not named Chris Jones at his position. He's been awesome.
So they have 2 full years of control after this year?
I believe so, yeah. So, but again, the window is next year. I mean, it could be 2 more years, I suppose, but I doubt it. And, we're seeing things on their roster that are troubling. Their offensive line hasn't been as good as they would have hoped. So by making that sort of trade, that's one less need because now they might have a needed offensive line. It was a move to me that actually made quite a bit of sense. So I thought both teams did that. We talked about the Jets not trading Breece Hall. The Seahawks trading for Rashid Shaheed is pretty sneaky good. Pretty sneaky good. He's good. A 4th and a 5th. That's, a 4th and a 5th this year is that's not a small price tag, but Rashid Shaheed's good. And they've added to that wide receiver room, and we saw Horton have a big game. Cooper Kupp has not been what they hoped for, but Shaheed helps that offense be better, and it probably helps them run the ball a little bit more because it forces defenses to focus now in on another guy with Smith and Jigba. But for a team that we're trying to figure out if they're real contenders, I liked that move a lot yesterday. It's one of my favorite moves of the day. I'm a big Rashid Shaheed fan, and I think he makes that wide receiver group quite a bit better.
Yeah, that Seahawks team, I mean, we've talked about them, about what we think about them. I think that they're a legit contender in the NFC, and I think that they just got that much better. with Njigba, opens up so much more targets for the rest of the field. We've seen Cooper Kupp miss some time, I believe, so that helps that as well. So, I mean, that was one of my favorite ones as well. The Sauce Gardner one's the one that, is he worth 2 first-round picks? He got 2 first, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, that was kind of the one where it's like, that might be a little bit rich, but he's going to help the Colts a lot as well. So those are definitely the big 3 for sure.
He's a good enough player, but that is a big price tag for a corner. And then the other one of significance to teams that feel like they're contenders, sort of in the Rashid Shaheed mold, is Jacoby Myers. That one was maybe a little more of a desperation trade, I think, for the Jags, because they've lost Travis Hunter and now Brian Thomas Jr. is hurt, and Jacoby Myers wanted out of Vegas. So a 4th and a 6th. I think he needs a new contract. I'm not sure they're going to give him one. He might have been an overpay, but Myers is a good player. And I would say it's more of a desperation move for the Jags, but at least they're kind of not giving up on the season when they've got a decent record. So I can respect it. But man, we're just not. It was just like bomb after. I felt like the Major League Baseball trade deadline yesterday. It was, you just kept getting alerts, and you were like, "Whoa, what?" And I'm telling you, to see the Jets making all those moves and to not see Breece Hall traded. As good a day as the Jets had toward a rebuild, that was such a mistake by them. Such a mistake. All right, we'll come back. We'll get TJ's thoughts on the Shockers last night, in attendance there on the other side in the next hour. And we'll talk about the Chiefs now that we know they're not making any moves. This is it. This is what they've got here. Will it be enough? We'll discuss on Sports Daily in the next hour.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Aloha, Mr. Hyde.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland here with you. Glad to be with you. No Shreyas Laddha this hour. Got caught in some travel issues, so we'll continue the conversations without him. We'll be just fine here on a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. TJ, you've got a Christmas tree up. It's time.
I was late to the show because I was flying back from Hawaii. Couldn't find a shirt. I'm sorry.
Ask the wife. Hey, we got the Christmas tree up, and I'm turning into a lawn guy. I'm a homeowner now.
Is that even a Hawaiian shirt that you're wearing? Or is that a polo?
Well, it's a Hawaiian shirt. I got palm trees and it's hot pink. It does not button all the way down, but I think it qualifies. Yeah.
I mean, I can just wear polos if it's been in the rules.
You have Hawaiian themed polos? Then yeah, I think that's acceptable. Sure. I don't think it has to be a full button down. I mean, I could be wrong about that. I don't feel that way. I think the spirit of it is just, the island vibe, loud and sometimes obnoxious, whatever it is that would annoy your wife or someday potentially your kids. That's what you're going for.
Got it.
When you do that. We have lots of stuff coming for you this hour. We will get into the Shocker game, the K-State game a little bit further in this hour. The Chiefs don't make any moves. So where does that leave them now as some of the teams around them made even minor moves? They did nothing. So we'll discuss it. Sports, it's all what's on tap, brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company, featuring Oztoberfest, the deeply copper-colored German-style lager that'll make you click your heels, grab your stein, and follow the copper brick road to the land of Oztoberfest. Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up this morning. All right, TJ, give us your Shocker scout. He didn't get to 30 like you predicted. Kenyon Giles didn't need to. The Shockers had a really nice second half of basketball. They easily cover the spread. And again, we only say that because when you have zero expectations early in a year, when we don't know what to expect early in a year from teams, we can look at that and say, okay, they exceeded at least some expectation, the expectation that Vegas put on them. It's about the best we've got right now until we learn more about opponents and the Shockers themselves. But they clear it pretty easily, and they dominate in the second half on the way to a big win to open the year.
Yeah, there's some surprises, I think. The things that we didn't expect that we learned a lot about. I think the first one, obviously, it was because of an injury to Jarrett Valencia. But TJ Williams gets the start in his first game back since playing at Per Heights, which is awesome. He had some good minutes. He did some good things. I don't think he's going to keep that starting role. I imagine he'll be a big part of the bench, though. And that was kind of one of the big questions about what role does TJ Williams fit into this. Obviously, he's the one of the only guys that was on the roster last year. And so I think that he'll get some big bench minutes and will sneak his way into that starting five whenever they need him to slide up. They went small ball lineup, kind of, if you consider TJ a guard. They went 3 guards, a small forward, and a center, basically. And so, like I said, I expected him to go fast, and they did. One of the other surprises, I think, was Dre Kendall. He was going to be a guy that we didn't know a lot about. Barton Community College guy, made the jump up to the Division I level, and all that we really knew about him was that, hey, he's going to be really fast. He's going to be really fast, and he's going to be a pest. And I mean, if you want to talk about the eye test, that guy was literally all over the court, like making plays happen, getting downhill, just blowing by guys. So I think that he's going to make a big role. I'm not sure if we're going to see him off the bench the rest of the year, or if he's going to be a starter. If not, he's going to give good 6-man minutes. I was really impressed with Dre Kendall. The other one was Noah Hill that Kevin Saul was talking about. He's a true freshman coming out of Sunrise, and I talked to him last year at Sunrise. He's only been playing basketball for 4 years, and it was kind of like a project guy because can't really shoot the ball, but he's like 6'8" and jumps out of the gym and just tries to dunk it every single time and tries to block a shot every single time. He ended up getting 13 minutes. He was the second most played center on the court last night, and so you think about him and Emmanuel Okorafor, they might have a 3-man big rotation like Kevin was talking about. Paul Mills said that he thinks that this team is a 10-man deep rotation. They did it last night, and they played all 10 guys basically. I'm not sure if that's what's going to last as they go along. I expect probably it'll dwindle down to an 8-man rotation eventually, I would imagine. But there's a lot of positives to take away.
I think it's good that it's 10 now. It's good that it can be 10 when they need it to be. There's no question. Dave Dahl and Mike Kennedy on the call over on KUIN, Shocker Radio Network, were raving about Karan Boyd and his athleticism and his hustle and his defense and being all over the court. 11 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals. He is a guy that, comes in with that sort of reputation. And it sounds like he's going to be the kind of player Shocker fans fall in love with.
Yeah, that's basically what he does. He can shoot it. He knocked down a 3, let a couple fly from behind the arc, but that's not his game. His game is definitely, he went up, caught an alley-oop, had a couple of big dunks, blocked a couple of shots, steals. He was contesting a couple shots, I guess. But he's big. He's a big, small forward, basically, and he could just jump with anybody in the gym as well. And so he's going to be a guy that's going to get a lot of minutes, and he might not have a ton that's going to show up in the box score. Last night, he did have double digits, but he's not going to facilitate things, but he's going to be there whenever you need him to. So, I think from the standpoint of, Kenyon Giles and Dre Kendall are going to be a lot of the playmaking. I think Michael Gray is kind of the traditional point guard role on this team. I believe is what they're rolling out, and he's a spot up shooter in a way as well. And then I think that Karan Boyd's there to be the athletic guy. TJ Williams kind of fits into that slasher role as well. And then you got the bigs down low. So it's shaping into something. One thing I was also surprised to see is that I don't know if this was because it was the season opener or not. There was a lot of just kind of trust in the offense from Paul Mills to not have to, as he calls it, remote control the offense. There was a lot of let them go, just space it out and just see if you can make something happen. And it, a lot of the times it was just spread it out, kick it around a couple times, let Kenyon Giles dribble a little bit, and then find an open guy. Not the traditional what we've seen the last 2 years of come down, on a full off-ball movement, down screens going all over the place, make something happen, which he did a couple of times, but there was a lot of it just, hey, it was, the meme of the let him cook offense. They're running that last night.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like that'll work as long as it works, right? And that's what you want to see. I thought one thing that really is a positive sign, because it was one of the biggest questions that we had, is down low. And it was you're kind of entrusting a massive role to Will Berg, who hasn't had to play that kind of role. Well, he was effective. He stayed out of foul trouble. He stayed on the court. And of all the things, I think early, and you mentioned some depth at big, but it's still, to me, the one that probably frightens me the most.
It is. The way to describe Will Berg is that, he reminds me a lot of like a 7'2" Kenny Poto from his final year. He's not the most physical big, but he is physical, but he's not the Quincy Ballard who's just going to try to dunk on you every time he touches the basketball. He's the kind of guy that he's got post moves and he can do that kind of thing. There was some silly mistakes last night from Will Berg, I think. And I think that that's something that, he turned it over 3 times as a big guy. Missed some rebounds down low, missed some bunnies down low. But I mean, he was also battling around.
They're going to have to deal with that, though. That's good, because they don't have that to me. That's such a big question, and I don't know. And the thing we really don't know is, how do the bigs look across the American?
Yeah,
because guys that play that position the way the Shockers have had some guys, they don't grow on trees. So is he at a mismatch? Is he at a disadvantage? I would guess not, but I don't know. I would say
there's not going to be many 7'2" guys in the American is where he's going to have that advantage. So there needs to be a role that's going to be carved out for him, and I think that he's going to learn that as well. And I think that they're trying to figure out what that is. I think that there's positives there, and if he gets mismatches, I mean, he's going to dominate them. Like if you get a switch and you get a 6'5" guy on him, he's going to dominate that every single time. Other than that, though, I mean, you need to have him as a guy who's going to get you double-digit rebounds a game. Like he has to have 10 rebounds a game because you're going to have your guards facilitate so much of this offense.
Well, and they're going to shoot probably. Like they're going to have guys let it fly, and you need those rebounds. You need that presence defensively. Of course, Valencia is not there, so
that'll help as well. He's a big guy. He'll slide into that as well if they want to go small ball. But I agree. On the bench, one of the surprises that I was talking about, Emmanuel Okorafor, the Seton Hall transfer, only played 4.5 minutes. Noah Hill played more than him, and so I don't know who the number 2 is going to be of those two. It kind of surprised me. I thought it would be Okorafor more than Hill, but I think that Paul Mills likes the defensive presence that Hill can bring out there, and the athleticism of that as well. It's just such a stark difference of Will Berg from getting the 7'2" guy to the 6'7" guy that can just fly around the court. And so I'm interested to see that. I'm interested to see where Valencia slides into that as well. But it feels like we're starting to see the vision at least.
We have a pretty good setup coming up as far as the schedule goes for the Shockers. Of course, Saturday they are back home. A lot of people's first chance to get them not on a weeknight and really get to see them. A Thursday night game next week against Loyola, who of course has been great in some years. Then it's Boise State on the road, a true roadie, back home against Milwaukee, and then it's the holiday tournament. I think these first 5 games are going to give us a nice look at what this Shockers team
it's a tough schedule. Like it's not the KU going to North Carolina, but I mean, last night, as they were talking about, that was a 20-win team. That's not a rollover win by 20.
I don't know. This was a 20-win team last year. How many of those players returned? I don't either. Like we don't know, but they're good names at least. Like I have no idea how good this schedule is going to be. Nobody does. We'll get to K-State a little bit later when we come back. Let's talk about the Chiefs deciding not to make any moves. Are we okay with that? That's next on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Is on KFH.
welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily here on a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Glad to have you with us. TJ, did I mention I shot 89 yesterday?
You may tell you about my golf round yesterday, Jacob.
Dude, what'd you shoot? Was it 89?
I played 5 holes, lost 13 golf balls, and went home.
Oh, I did lose some balls. The breakfast ball on the first was a goner, only because it hits out into the driving range on the north course.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. Like you hit. There's never a time of the year quite like hitting one perfectly and knowing like right where it is and not being able to find it. 2 different times my ball was under a leaf. And so, yeah, it was an interesting day with that wind, and this time of year is always interesting, but man, it's hard not to take advantage of this weather. I'm telling you, like this is the time of year you want one of these like neon red balls might be handy. I need to get
way. The red balls are the worst. Get like the lime green or
the lime green. I've never had the red ones.
You can't go red because when you hit a red ball, you start feeling like what the colorblind people feel, and then it's like, what the hell?
Blue maybe would be good. I don't know. Whatever color is not the color of a leaf out there. But it was a good day for golf. Hopefully, I don't know. Like, do you walk that off? You finally go sub 90 in the year. Do you walk that off? Like if I play again, like
you're gonna call it for the rest of the year?
Maybe I just call it for the season.
No, you gotta ride the hot streak. I
don't know. I don't know why I was striking it well, but it was about the third hole where I was.
No, my wife hates me whenever I break 90 because I book out the rest of the week with tee times because I got to strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, I don't have time to do that this time of year, but I'll if this weather keeps up, and it looks like next week could be really nice again too. Yeah, and the other thing is if I go and I play my round of ready golf, I can get 18 holes in about 2 hours.
Whenever you texted me and said that you broke 90 yesterday, I saw whenever your round started on the 18 birdies app, and I was like, that was like an hour and a half.
It is ready golf. It's 2 hours, usually about 2 hours and 10 minutes. To rip through it. And that's, it takes courtesy from anybody else on the course. And they're always very good about come on through. Because people that make fun of me that play with me, like I don't line up and like think about, I grip it and rip it. And because I always am afraid, the more I think about it, the worse it's going to be. And that's typically the case, but it's fun. Hopefully everybody's out there enjoying the weather, even if it's a little breezy out there. Chiefs decide, TJ, not to make any moves. We talked Breece Hall specifically there for just a minute before we switched over to Kevin Saul in the first hour, so we can kind of put a bow on that and recap it a little bit. The decision not to go with Breece when we're hearing that they had a 4th on the table, but the Jets wanted a 3rd. That's an interesting stalemate. I think the bigger mistake is from the Jets. I think the Chiefs played their hand right in that, like, the leverage is on our side. You guys are telling us you're having a fire sale. We're willing to give up a 4th. We don't want to give up a 3rd. We don't feel like we need the position enough to give up a 3rd. Here's the 4th, take it or leave it. And I think that was the right play. I would have done the same thing. I don't know that caving to a 3rd, as much as personally we would have loved it so much, and it would be so much fun. There is no the problem with it is not the player. The problem isn't even the 3rd. The problem is it's no more contract, and I just cannot imagine the Chiefs investing $12 to $15 million a year at running back. I just don't think that's something they're going to do, and that made it a difficult trade to try to swallow.
Yeah, I don't know. I go back and forth on it. I think that I wonder, which we have no idea. I wonder if there was a conversation about like, will we be able to re-sign you? Like,
of course there was.
Well, how does that? I mean, like, do you talk to Breece's agent about that before you make the trade?
No, I think no, not necessarily. I think you look at the market, and look the market. We're guessing, for Breece Hall he's a star. So he's been stuck with the Jets, but I've never heard any scouts or anybody like that doesn't love his game. So it's difficult about it is, yeah, we might guess that it's that on a per year basis, but you've got guys that are bigger than that, right? You've got Saquon and Christian McCaffrey both up near 20 million. If Jonathan Taylor's contract is the one to look at, and I think it probably is, or Josh Jacobs, you're talking somewhere between 12 and $15 million a year for a guy like Paul, who is in his prime still and probably will remain in his prime for the duration of that 3 or 4 year contract. Kyron Williams just got 11. I mean, I'm taking Breece Hall over Kyron Williams. Josh Jacobs, James Cook, both just got about 11. The market will go up a little bit. I'll bet you Breece Hall gets about $12 to $14 million a year next year.
That's my thing is, do you have a conversation? I honestly, I don't know how this works. Like, can you talk to Breece's agent? Do you have to get permission to talk to Breece's agent about this?
I think you have to get, yes, you have to get permission. And I don't know if there was enough time for that.
But you
don't have to, like, you don't need an exact number in that scenario.
It's not the number
to project.
It's the thinking
the desire to.
If we trade for you, will you re-sign your, like, if we trade for you, will you sign an extension? Because if you don't do that, then you don't do it. You don't trade a third at all. I wouldn't probably trade a fourth if you don't have I wouldn't trade a fourth for a rental. I would trade a third for the opportunity to get him and sign him to 2 extra years or something like that. And I would do that in a heartbeat.
I haven't really thought about that. I mean, I think we understand that there's a decent chance Breece Hall would have a very much interest in playing for the Chiefs. But again, like, to me, it's more important to know your own finances, to know your own situation. Max brought it up and has brought it up. They're way over the cap right now. Now, Kelsey's coming off. Taylor's probably coming off. You know, there's going to be a Mahomes restructure. Hell, there could be a Chris Jones restructure at this stage of his career. They'll free up the money, but they've got McDuffie. And I don't know that they can afford McDuffie anyway. Rick brings up McDuffie and said, based on the Sauce Gardner trade, Kansas City should have traded McDuffie for 2 firsts. He's going to be too expensive. The problem with that is Kansas City needs him to try to win a Super Bowl this year. He's a star player. I don't know that they can do it either. They chose Karlaftis. They chose Trey Smith. They've made a lot of decisions, and and look, they have a history of letting the defensive backs walk since Spags has been there. They've let a lot of these guys walk. They let Snead walk. They let Eric Berry walk. They let Justin Reed walk. Who else have they? Juan Thornhill they've let walk, right? They've let a lot of guys go. And yeah, like, Breece Hall factors into that too. Like, if there's any chance to get McDuffie, do we have 12 to 14 to spend on a running back? And the answer to that's probably no. And so if you're the Chiefs, you're looking at this and saying, okay, there's a third. What about a third to draft a running back that you have way cheap for a very long time, right? That you have under control. Isaiah Pacheco, you can go higher than you did with Isaiah Pacheco. They tried that with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It didn't really work, but they won Super Bowls. It's just not as, the position's not as important to Kansas City as it is to some teams. And that's, and again, we talked about it yesterday. How can it be? They've invested all of their resources in pass blocking and wide receivers for what, 3 or 4 years now? I mean, it's been a long time that they've, and you have Mahomes. And if you're going to do that, like, it's hard to just switch your resources up and say, you know what? Now we're going to be a running team. It took the Bills a couple years to build up to that, to what they're doing this year. They had Steph Diggs, and it took them, last year into this year to redesign themselves as a team that wants to run the ball. So I'm fine with it. I would have loved it. I was as hopeful as anybody, just like, forget it. Who cares? It'll be fun while it lasts. Even if it lasts a short amount of time yesterday, you get caught up in the moment. But I don't think the Chiefs made a mistake there. The question is, did they need to do something? Okay, so that's the Breece Hall piece that was kind of coming into focus right there toward the end. Did they need to do something? I would say the biggest area of need was defensive line. Because you don't, like, those reinforcements aren't really coming. In the running back room, if Isaiah Pacheco returns, we're back to feeling great about the running back room, right? Pacheco, Hunt, Smith has been fine all year. It's just the Pacheco injury that worries you a little bit. Not a ton, a little bit. The defensive line, like what's there that you see that makes you think, oh, they're going to get better at that? That would be the question for me. I don't think there is anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I would be fine with sitting pat except for the running back room. I would have made a move, even if it was for a backup running back to just stash in there to help.
They can probably find one of those though. Like those guys get cut. Let's see if there's a free agent running back list right now.
I don't know. It was Brees or die, and we didn't get him.
I get that. I get that. I do, because it would have been super fun. I understand and was hoping for it there at the end selfishly because we'd seen it and wanted to see it. You know, here are some names that are out there. If the Chiefs really got desperate, here are some names that are out there. Zach Moss, Gus Edwards, Chase Edmonds has had a cup of coffee. Dante Foreman has had a cup of coffee. These are all free agents. So there are Kareem Hunts out there. You know, I think the depth part is okay. Could they have gotten better at running back? Yes, they could have. Did they need to? Look, I'd say no. I don't think they needed to. So I think they're okay. I think the bigger need is at pass rush. They need to figure out a way to get more pressure on the opposing quarterback. We'll find out what they do, but this is it. This is the team now that, you know, there's not like, I don't think in the NFL, there's those secondary trades that can kind of trickle through like they can in baseball. If guys clear waivers and do all that strange stuff, like this is it. This is, unless somebody gets cut, this is what you've got. And I think it's enough. I think the Chiefs are they're still the odds on favorite to win the Super Bowl, even after all the trades yesterday. So Josh Simmons was the best thing that could have happened to the Chiefs at the trade deadline. How about that? His return this week was the best thing that could have happened to the Chiefs.
It's true. That helps them a bunch. And I think that was kind of the argument that people were making yesterday about, you know, sending screenshots of the Super Bowl blowout. And it's like, oh, I hope you're happy you rolled out this team plus Rashard Smith or something like that to go back to that spot. But you have Josh Simmons, and the line is immensely better than what it was. And so I think that is a different team. I think that's going to help them as well. And so, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think that if they go beat the Broncos, nobody's going to give a crap about what happened in the trade deadline, honestly.
No, that's true. And yeah, that's very true. I think the bigger question is, did anybody close the gap with the contenders? The Colts made nobody thinks the Cowboys are going to be that good. So the Colts are the team that we all look at and say, was that a move that puts them over the edge? Listen, was it a big price tag? Yes. Was it too much to pay? I mean, maybe, probably. But let's not gloss over the fact that that's one of the best defensive players in football. And they just got him. And it's so clear that they believe in Daniel Jones. I mean, come on. Like they think Daniel Jones can go win them a Super Bowl. Isn't that crazy? Think about the trajectory, the career of Daniel Jones. How wild has this been for him?
Mm-hmm.
He was booted off of a bad team, basically. A guy that went in and he won a playoff game. Was that his rookie year or his second year? Goes and wins a playoff game. And then it falls. But it's the Sam Darnold story all over again. And man, it's interesting. It is interesting that this is happening more often now in the NFL than it ever used to. Like used to in the NFL, if a quarterback didn't work, we knew within a year or two, like, yeah, that ain't happening for that guy.
I know. That's what it starts to rising the questions of which the Vikings had, have it in front of their faces of, is it a better idea to draft a first round quarterback, or is it a better idea to say, hey, let's kick this tire a little bit. Let's see what they do.
Well, I think those are two different things. I think, still Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold were both first round quarterbacks. Like they're not like that. You still almost always have to get them early. Now I guess
it gives you the option of, if you're in a spot, it's just like, well, like we can try this, maybe we don't, maybe we can punt and wait for a quarterback next year.
Just don't close the door on guys as early as maybe we have.
Yeah.
But
also, a lot of Daniel Jones' problems was Giants' problems, not Daniel. Which Daniel Jones wasn't good. Don't get me wrong, but
I think it compounds. Look at
there's
Baker
a lot
Mayfield.
of there's a lot of system issues.
Baker Mayfield was a guy who was the darling, and then a dysfunctional organization. And you remember the injury that he got and kind of the circumstances around it. And then they kind of gave up on him and made one of the worst sports contract decisions of all time. And, oh, wait, Baker Mayfield is actually good at football. Like we all saw him be with his prior team. Like we saw him be good, and they just kicked him to the curb. And now he's awesome in Tampa. Like it's happening more often than it ever used to happen. Happens all the time. Guess what? It's probably going to happen with Kyler Murray. They're going with Jacoby Brissett, and they're making the right decision, by the way.
Is that a healthy benching?
Well, it's not a healthy benching. It's a healthy Brissett won the job. Like, you know, what are you going to give?
Like, it's not because Kyler's hurt. It's because
I think he's healthy. I think he was healthy against Cowboys, and they decided to go with Brissett. And Brissett's been better. I'm not saying the Cardinals are making the wrong decision going with Brissett, but I mean, it's going to happen. Kyler's going to go somewhere else and be successful to some level successful. Now it's on him, but I mean, there's like a track record of this now in the NFL. And if you're a team that's like, you know, fringy and like the Jets, if you're the Jets this offseason and you don't like the quarterback class, just go get Kyler Murray and see what he's got. He's young enough that he could be the quarterback of your future.
If Kyler Murray was the draft prospect again, he'd go first overall.
He might. I mean, he's had enough time where there's things there that you worry about. You worry about work ethic. You worry about size. You know, a lot of that stuff comes through. But again, we saw that same thing with Jones. We saw that same thing with Darnold, with Mayfield. Like, we had concerns about those guys, but they had all at various times to various degrees shown us over the years that there's something there. Yeah. And Kyler Murray has absolutely showed us that there is something there. Right now, he's not the best quarterback for that team. I mean, how do you come back from that? How do you come back from that? He's going to want to trade, or they're going to want to trade him, and there are going to be teams with a lot of capital. Now, I don't know that I'd go, and if I'm the Jets, like, give up a first for him, but they also got an extra second. You give up a second to make a run and see what Kyler Murray's got? Sure. Why not? How old is Jacoby Brissett? How long might the Cardinals stick to Jacoby Brissett or do something different? Because like, it's hard to come back from doing what they're doing. I mean, he's 32. Roll with him for another year. He's looked good. Fascinating stuff. I love that the trade deadline is a thing right now. We'll come back. Let's talk a little K-State hoops when we return, what we thought there. We got plenty of time for your calls at 869-1240, your commentary on Facebook, YouTube, or X. Thanks for watching on 12 News Connected. We'll be right back with more Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad to be here with you. Jake Ballbrock, TJ Cleveland. It is a Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Getting you through the middle of the week. Enjoy the weather out there while we've got it. Looks like it'll stay pretty good for a while. We got a little cold snap coming through that we got to deal with this weekend. It's annoying. Why can't we get like a, I don't know, like a Tuesday cold snap, a Monday cold snap? Leave us alone on the weekends here, could we? You know, like can we just have some nice weather to get us through a weekend?
Football weather. It was beautiful at KState this Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday was fine. It was sunny and but we're talking like a windy, nasty, cold, whatever blowing in Saturday evening. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. Can we do something about that? That's the other thing. You stare at your lawn after you mow it, TJ. as you get older and, you do
still,
these things.
let's
You
talk.
complain about the weather.
Are you still mowing your lawn?
Yeah, if it needs it. It's not. I don't have to do it every week right now.
I got leaves all over the place.
That is the one thing I actually like of all the lawn. There are two things that I have subbed out of because I just don't have a ton of free time. The leaf cleanup, like the final end of the year leaf cleanup, I go ahead and bring somebody in for that these days. I counted one year. We've got so many trees in our yard. It was over 20 bags of leaves. Like it may have, I may even be way undershooting that because I haven't done it in a couple of years. Like that's when I bring in some help for, and I no longer fertilize my own yard because it was just as cheap to have somebody else do it by the time I bought the fertilizer. So those are the two things that I sub out as far as lawn care goes. I do everything else. Do the mulch, do the lawn care, do the planting, do all that kind of stuff. But I won't be picking up the leaves this year. I got 3 kids. I can't wait till my 3 kids are old enough to do it. And they say, get out there and clean up those leaves, but we're not quite there yet. Good luck.
Yeah. A lot of leaves. We're figuring it out.
I don't like leaf cleanup. I enjoy mowing the grass.
We got a big old tree in the yard, and just every time I clean it up, the next day they're back.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of that. Let's talk about KState hoops. And that was, I mean, of everything you want KState hoops to be this year, right? I think we got it last night. I don't know what happened in the first half. I was listening to the Shockers and then immediately listened to KState as soon as the Shockers were over. So most of what I listened to was the good stuff for KState when they absolutely dominated in the second half. But I would imagine that if K-State's going to be the best version of itself this year, we're going to see a lot of box scores look just like this. Haggerty leading the way scoring, a lot of it coming from the free throw line, and a whole bunch of dudes firing up threes. I think that's the identity K-State wants this year. I think that's what that's their intent.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to do the math here. 49 points between Haggerty and Nate Johnson, and then 16 from Bashir is more than Greensboro, basically, just between those 3 guys. So,
which is fine because Greensboro, I don't think Greensboro, like Asheville, I believe is better than Greensboro. I don't think Greensboro is supposed to be very good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, they shot 27 3-pointers and made 14 of them. So they're going to put them up. This is exactly what we talked about of, is K-State going to score 90 every game? I think that there's a chance that they're going to score over 80 every game unless the ball's just not falling in the hoop. But they're going to shoot enough that's going to make it feel obtainable every single time that they play. So, again, I didn't get to see much of the game either. I was watching the Shockers. And so, I imagine if they're going to have a downfall, it's going to be teams that are going to find a way to stop PJ Haggerty, which is a tough task to do. But if you can keep him under 20, they're going to have a tough time.
Well, it's tough to do when he's getting to the line. How many times did we see that last year? Was it that final game or was it the tournament game against the Shockers?
40-point game,
Dude just lived on the line. And that's what he does. And that's what you want to see if you're K-State. Like, if he's going to be an ISO ball specialist and take 20 shots a game, which is what he does and why they have him there, and it's the best offenses we've seen from Jerome Tang operate that way, that's what you want. You want Haggerty to attack and get to the free throw line. Look, they weren't playing a very good team, but they beat them by 30 points. Most of that outcome coming in a half. Are they going to shoot that way from 3 every game? Well, no, nobody's better than 50% 3-point shooting. That won't happen. But that's where it's important to see Haggerty getting in line. There'll be lots of games where they don't shoot well from 3. But I think if you're a K-State fan, you'd like them to be that, a 3-point shooting team. Like, you shoot close to 40%, and they're going to win a whole bunch of games this year. Because Haggerty is going to raise that floor up with his ability to get to the line. I don't know their defense. I don't know about their toughness, their rebounding, any of that stuff. I don't know what to expect there because none of the players we know anything about are playing positions that we're paying a whole lot of attention to right at that point, right? Like I don't know about them down low. I don't know any of their guys. Everybody we know anything about is a scorer, is a guard.
Yep. That's true. They're definitely a guard-heavy team. That was one of the biggest questions going into the season of what their, post presence is going to be because they're. Last night they started Kamari McGriff, who, he's a traditional power forward if I'm not mistaken, and then Moby. McGriff is 6'9", Moby is 6'8", and so they rolled out those guys and just kind of went small ball with it. They got a couple big guys coming off their bench, but not a ton of depth at that position, so they're not going to be, the Hunter Dickinson Jayhawks who live out of their post, and they never have been. They've had David Gasson, and they put David Gasson on the 3-point line. And that's kind of how Coach Tang has ran it the past couple of years. So I'm curious. As I said, I didn't get to really watch much of this game, what it'll look like with, Coach Driscoll, Matt Driscoll coming over. And that's what Wyatt's talked to us about, is that he's going to add offensive structure for K-State, who's lived in the, the YMCA offense of just go out there and make something happen a little bit. And they've had the guys that have been able to do that. And that's what they did so well. The Elite 8-year run is that, Marquise Noel was really good at going out and making something happen. They haven't had that kind of talent since, and that's where the struggles have come from. So it's interesting if they're going to be a lot more set plays or if it's going to be the let Haggerty cook offense. And I don't know. Scored 93 points out of it. So whatever they did last night, keep doing that.
Keep doing it. Kostic, the guy that Wyatt's been telling us about, that he, has said is as good or better a shooter than they've had, and they've had some good ones over the year. Took 4 threes, and he did not start in the game, so we'll see if his role develops at all. Former guy we used to pay a lot of attention to, David Castillo, gets some minutes, and then they like the Shockers ran about 10 guys last night, so that's what happens in these early games. No surprises there. K-State's schedule. They get up next. They will go and host Bellarmine. They get Cal and Tulsa after that. Could be a little bit better. They'll get Mississippi State and then either Nebraska or New Mexico and then Indiana. K-State's got.
This is the toughest non-conference that they've played since Tang has been here.
It's the toughest non-conference they've played that I can remember. I can't tell you how. Their non-cons have never been very good. This one's good. You're looking at games. South Dakota could be a good game just based on history. I don't know anything about these teams. Creighton, Seton Hall is on there. Indiana, Nebraska or New Mexico, Mississippi State, Cal, Tulsa. Like those are.
We're used to seeing the Mississippi Valley State coming into Bramlage. That's what Tang is scheduled like, because that's what helps his chances the most to get into the tournament, is to just go undefeated in the non-conference. It doesn't matter who you play.
I don't think it does help your chances. They always fought that. There'd be a lot of years, and this is just like off the hip trying to remember, where you'd see them like unranked but be like 11-1 or whatever, because Weber never seemed to schedule tough games either. And Tang did the Wichita State series. That needs to be a game that happens every single year.
That's why he said he doesn't want to do it, is that it doesn't help them to play Wichita State, because if they lose to Wichita State, it hurts them. If they beat Wichita State, it doesn't do much to them. And it's a lot scarier to play Wichita State than it is to play Alcorn State. So,
well, but it's not then Creighton.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I can't believe that they scheduled it this way. Whenever that's the comments that he made about it doesn't help them to play Wichita State.
Bill Self used to say stuff like that. That drives me crazy. Just go play the game. Go play the dang game. It's
there needs to be, like, they have a point though. Like, to his point, like it looks a lot better whenever you have.
That's not a point. That's chicken. It's chicken.
It's chicken. But at the end of the year, when you're adding 64 teams to a bracket, you're gonna
win the game. Can we get Max? Can we get Governor Kelly on the line? The politicians love to get involved in this stuff. Can we get Kelly on the line, and let's see if she can make some legislation up, or get our state lawmakers, somebody that can let's get some legislation that the Shockers and KU and K-State all need to play non-conference basketball games every single year.
Let's just start our own holiday tournament and then make them come every single year. The Sports Daily Classic. Who would be the fourth team? Who would you add? West Texas A&M.
Oklahoma
Buffaloes?
State. Oklahoma State, probably. But now that become a conference game. How would we do that? How would we do that?
You got an SEC team at Mizzou.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could do Mizzou. You could do Creighton. Creighton, Wichita State, K-State, KU. They rotate who they play. Obviously, KU and K-State can't play each other.
We hosted at Interest Bank Arena every year.
We hosted at Interest Bank Arena. We rotated between, what do they call it's T-Mobile Center? T-Mobile Center, Interest Bank Arena. You rotate it every year. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Do it. And, I don't know. It's just annoying that they don't play. I mean, what have the Shockers done in the last 10 years that make anybody scared of that game? And that's not a knock on the Shockers. That's not a knock on the Shockers. That's a knock on being afraid to schedule that game if you're the bigger schools.
They beat K-State last year, but everybody beat K-State last year.
It's not. I'm not saying the Shockers can't win the games. I'm saying, what are we doing here? We got to get. It's a great rivalry. They're well attended. Everybody's looking for money right now. Put those games on the schedule. Come on. Which lawmaker can we put responsible for this? We put on Laura Kelly, a swan song on the way out. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I know. I'm sad that game's not happening. That game was
election
awesome.
night last night. It's going to be, folks, 2026 is going to be nuts. It's going to be crazy in an election year. Last night was not much for us here locally. You can go to kwch.com and follow all the local election results. Next year will be wild stuff. All right, let's give away some HTO on the way out here. You can text to win a free cup of iced tea from HTO in East Wichita, West Wichita, or in Derby. More than 25 flavors to choose from. You can enter the contest by texting the keyword tea to the short code 20357. That's TEA to the short code 20357. You can enter once per day. Message and data rates apply. Good luck there. That's 3 contests we've put out for you here over the course of the day. We're feeling festive this time of year. We'll come back. We got a little more for you. Don't go anywhere. It's Albrecht and Cleveland on a Wednesday.